You know who promised he was giving an important update on the Iran war in primetime address last night. And this is what y'all got.
I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. When this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up.
Yeah. I missed this. I forgot it was on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I feel like you all can give us some clarity. Did you get any clarity on anything?
No, he first of all, he wants to bring a country to the Stone Age. There are people there in Iran, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's not just, you know, two of the people running the place. There are actual people there. He wants to bring it to the Stone Age. And at the same time, he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. That is the definition of crazy. Also, there's like magical thinking that all of a sudden the gas prices, which are $10 in California in some parts, a gallon, and the stock market is in the toilet. He thinks this is magically going to come back. Does he really think we're that stupid?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, but I'm not one of the poorly educated, okay? Those are the ones he thinks he can get to. And those people are the ones who are going to turn on him.
Well, the crazy thing is, even the poorly educated recognize when they're being grifted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Poorly, just because you don't have book learning doesn't mean you're not smart enough to know when somebody's bamboozling you.
Yeah.
Well, they're
feeling it now.
they're feeling it themselves at the pump.
They're feeling it now. His approval rating is down 30 to 35%, which is at an all-time low. And I didn't gain any clarity.
What is it, 35?
35%. Yeah. And, you know, numbers matter to him. For me, I didn't gain much clarity, but I think the Iranians did, because he said, it's going to be over in 2 to 3 weeks. Why would you tell your alleged enemy, why would you telegraph your enemy, just hold on for 2 or 3 weeks and then you're going to be good? So that was very unpresidential and not very smart. And the other thing is, to Joy's point, he said he threatened indiscriminate attacks on Tehran's electrical generation capacity. If there is no deal, he said, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard. So intentionally targeting a country's energy is an international war crime. So he is also telegraphing that he's going to become an international war criminal. And so I think while I wasn't informed or surprised, I'm still disturbed.
Excuse me. Sorry. It's just kind of wild to me that this man, Donald Trump, has not made a lot of speeches, and the one time he does decide to make a speech about this terrifying war is on April Fool's Day.
His timing is impeccable, Whitney.
Impeccable timing. I feel like we could have scheduled it on another day. Personally, I want out of this simulation. Also, remember when he wouldn't come to work? Remember first term, he was playing golf every day, and we were how do we get him back on the golf course? I never thought I'd say this, but all of a sudden he's deciding he's coming to work every day, and he even admitted that he's not clear who he's negotiating with.
Yes.
He's not talking to the head guy over there. He's like, we're talking to someone we don't. He could be getting catfished by truly anyone with an accent.
Yeah.
And we don't know it.
How am I supposed to follow her?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for the tee up. No, I think in what we saw last night is it wasn't what he said, it was what he didn't say. There were some things he danced around. Like, he had forever been saying he was negotiating with Iran, and he didn't talk about any negotiations going on. He didn't talk about ground troops. He also stopped dancing around the idea of leaving NATO, which was concerning for a few days. Usually he likes to double down on those big ideas. But again, this war is sinking his ability, like any approval he had, as who mentioned the 35%. His net approval is negative 23. So
What does that mean? I don't get that.
It's in the toilet.
Yeah, it's
I know.
that part.
What does it mean? Like
Across the board on every single
The
issue.
difference between the positive and the negative. He's in the negative.
Yeah.
But the other thing is he keeps talking about how he's changed the regime. What he doesn't understand is when you change a regime, you change the people leading in the ideology. He cut the head off a snake, and it's growing another one. So I don't think he understands that part, and he gave us no sense of when the exit is.
I
like
love
when we're
that you
leaving.
keep giving him credit for being a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Which part was deep thinking?
That when you say, he doesn't realize
Oh,
that,
that the regime part.
if you are somebody who understands how this regime worked and what the long-term plan should be, they didn't think about anything. They thought, oh, we're going to try to make this where we did it in Venezuela, we're going to do it over here, and then we're going to Cuba. It's like what I don't understand. Did he mention anything about the Epstein files?
No, and one thing I'll say about that
No.
is I always try to find a little silver lining if I can. And one little piece of good news is like the distractions aren't working. They tried to throw aliens at us last week. They tried to throw meteors flying, and we're not taking the bait. They tried to throw Epstein. Now they're going up around the moon, and no one's taking the bait.
Do not bring NASA into this.
I just mean, think about all the other things they're trying to throw at us, and we're not wavering. We're not wavering. We're not getting distracted.
I
Thank
think
God for Adderall.
People who...
Sorry.
Who's on Adderall?
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying everyone on the internet's
But you know who started laughing was Brian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the ha 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 you heard.
I think we're out of it in America. You got some. That's
But I just find it extraordinary that they don't believe that we are watching and listening, and that we are, as voters, going to take care of this.
Well, so he's lame duck now. So his own party will
He's
turn
what?
on.
Say it again?
He's a lame duck. So his own party will turn on him now. They have nothing to gain. Yeah,
Eventually.
he's done. Put a fork in it.